सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च.
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Janana. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. In Srimad Narayaneeyam, which is the very essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have been seeing the greatness that is attached to Paramatma through a variety of his avatars, be it Sri Nrsimhavatara, Varahavatara, Matsyavatara, Kurmavatara, Vamanavatara, so on and so forth. We have also seen the greatness that is attached to some of his Aveshya avatars like Prithu, Rishabhanatha, Kapila Vasudeva, so on and so forth. Alongside, we have also been seeing the greatness that is attached to some of his devotees like, say, Dhruva, Prahlada, Ajamila, and many more such devotees. One such devotee whom we are going to come across now is a great devotee called as Ambarisha. So, the shloka goes like this in the 33rd Dashakam. Vaivasvatakhyamanuputra nabhagajata nabhaganamaka narendra sutombarishaha saptarnavavrutamahi daitopi reme tvatsangishu tvaicha magnamana sadaiva. Here, Ambarisha, the king, his name is Ambarisha. Vaivasvatakya manuputra nabhagajata. So there was this son to Vaivasvata Manu, who was called Nabhaga. And to Nabhaga was born a son called Nabhaga Namaka Narendra Sutaha. So Vaivasvata Manu, his son, and to his son. So Vaivasvata Manu's great-grandson is what the lineage says, is Ambarisha. Vaivasvatakya Manuputra Nabhagajata Nabhaganamaka Narendra Sutaha, says Bhattatri. Then he continues to that great personality, Api Saptarnava Avrita Mahi Daitaha. Saptarnava, all the 7 seas that you see, all that came under his control. Sada Eva Reme Magna Reme Magna Manaha. His thoughts were always immersed in Bhagavan, Tvat Sangishu Tvaicha, in his devotees and in you. So despite enjoying all the comforts, despite enjoying all the powers, his mind was always focused on Bhagavan. Tvat Sangishu Tvaicha. Tvat Sangishu, whoever has got Sangam with you. Sangha means association. So the ones who have got association with Bhagavan are called Bhagavatottamas. So with Bhagavan and with Bhagavatottamas, this Ambarisha Maharaja, despite being the king of all the seas and the lands, despite enjoying all the powers and the comfort, was very happy, always being devoted to Bhagavan and to his devotees. What happened to that Ambarisha? The next shloka says, Tvat Pritaye सकलमेव वितन्वतोऽस्य भक्तैव देव न चिरादभृताः प्रसादम् येनास्य याचनमृतेऽप्यभिरक्षणार्थं चक्रं भवान् प्रविततार सहस्रधारम्. Hey Deva, the one who loves to play, the one who is the Swami for all of us, the one who is the Niyanta and the Antaryami for all of us. Hey Deva, abhritaha prasadam. Thereby, with your grace, which means Bhagavan has given a boon. So he says, abhritaha prasadam nachiratu eva asya bhaktya. Before it was too long, and solely on account his devotion, truly his devotion, vitanvataha sakalam, he had started performing all actions, tvat pritaye eva yena. Thereby, there was so much delight that Bhagavan derived in the devotion that was showcased to him by Ambarisha. Tvat pritaye eva yena. That too, for the delight of Bhagavan alone, he did devotion, and Bhagavan was pleased so much with it that he gifted him something. What did he gift? Bhavan pravitatara chakram. Bhagavan gave his own chakram, his own Sudarshana that would protect Ambarisha. So Sudarshana was given for the protection of Ambarisha at any point in time in the future. Who is this Sahasra? Who is this Chakram? Sahasradharam asya abhirakshanartham. Sahasradharam. The one who has got ara. Ara means many spokes. He has got how many spokes? Sahasrara. Sahasrara means 1,000 spokes. So Sahasra Dharam Asya. Sahasra Dharam is what Bhattatri says. Many acharyas also give the name Sahasraram because he has got so many spokes. Sahasra Dharam Asya Abhirakshanartham. For the very protection of his devotee, api rute yachanam, even without asking for it, Bhagavan gave that chakram. Sahasradharam asya abhirakshanartham api rute yachanam. He says, then he continues, Sadvadashi vratamatho bhavadarchanartham varsham dadhau madhuvane yamunopakanthe patnya samam sumanasa mahatim vitanvan pujam dvijeshu visrujan pashu shashtikotim. Atha saha vitanvan. That saha here implies Ambarisha. Ambarisha, who came in the lineage of Vaivasvata Manu, who was a very great devotee of Bhagavan, who was also extremely devoted to Bhagavan's devotees, while he was being bestowed with chakram for his own protection by Bhagavan. On the other hand, how did his devotion continue? Atha saha vitanvan. He started performing Mahatim Pujam Madhuvane, extreme austerities in a place called Madhuvanam. We have dealt with this Madhuvanam in one of the earlier episodes, which was during Dhruva Charitram. Dhruva, who comes again as the son of Uttanapada, went and performed austerities, tapasya to Bhagavan in this place called as Madhuvanam. So Madhuvanam is associated with Dhruva. Madhuvanam is associated with Ambarisha. Madhuvanam will later be associated during the Ramayana times with Shatrughna, who ruled that place. This Madhuvanam is what later becomes Mathura. Madhura bhagyam ananya bhogyamide vasudeva vadhustanandayam tad kimapi brahma kishora bhava drishyam. So the Mathura, the place, Madhura, they are replaceable. This place where Bhagavan stayed and grew up in Krishna Avataram was earlier associated with Shatrughna and Rama Avataram, was associated with great devotees like Ambarisha and another great devotee called Dhruva. So it is in that very place of Madhuvanam that he was performing Mahatim Pujam Madhuvane. He was doing immense austerities in this Madhuvanam. Yamunopakanthe Samam Patnya, on the banks, by the banks of river Yamuna, along with his wife Sumanasa. And with a very benevolent heart, with Sumana means flowers, with beautiful flowers, and at the same time with a very good mind and heart. So he said Sumanasa Visarjan Pashu Shashtikotim Dvijishu. So he gave 60 crores of cows to various brahmanas who were learned in the scriptures. See, when we listen to these numbers of 60 crores, it may seem very huge. Just think, Anekavachi. He gave away many cows. That is what is important for us. Dadhau Dvadashi Vratam Varsham. They observed the Dvadashi Ekadashi Tithi, followed by Dwadashi. So Ekadashi is the 11th day. And in every Paksha. And then in the Dwadashi day, you do, because you fast on the Ekadashi Tithi, on the Dwadashi Tithi, you culminate that fast with a very delicious, sumptuous Bhagavat Prasadam, which is called Parana. So he says, Dadhau Dwadashi Vratam Varsham. After having observed Ekadashi, you do Parana on the Dwadashi. Like this he observed for 1 year. Bhavadarchanartam, to propitiate you, hey Krishna. What happened that day? Tatra thaparanadine bhavadarchanante Durvasa Munina bhavanam prapede bhoktum vritascha sanripena parattishilaha mandam jagama yamuna niyaman vidhasyan atha tatra bhavadarchanante. Then at the conclusion of your worship, your archana, aradhana to you, Paranadini, that too on the day of Dwadashi Tithi, because on the day of Dwadashi Tithi, I told you, there is a sumptuous Bhagavat Prasadam which is offered called as Parana. So he says, Paranadine Asya Bhavanam Prapede. And on that day of Dwadashi Tithi, when Parana was to be done, Bhavanam Prapede. So in that very residence, that Raja Mahala Sadhana of Ambarisha, somebody reached, who Munina Durvasasa. Munina, there was a great Mananashilaha called Muni, called Durvasa Maharshi. Munina Durvasasa Vritaha Dripena Bhoktum, having been invited by the very king for his food, he was very happy. Saha Chak Pararti Shilaha. But then, very typical of Bhattadri, that he will always make it sarcastic in certain places. Who is this Durvasa? He asks. Earlier he said Munina, Mananashilaha Munihi. But here he says, Sahacha Pararti Shilaha. Arti is distress. So Para Arti Shilaha, the one who derives pleasure in troubling others. So Pararti Shilaha, he reached Mandam Jagama Yamuna. Then after having promised the king that he will partake in that Parana, Durvasa left to the Yamuna waters. Mandam Jagama Yamunam Vidhasyan Niyamana. To do his daily rites and rituals, he went away to the banks of river Yamuna. Then what happened? Rajnatha Parana Muhurta Samapti Khedat Varaiva Paranamakari Bhavat Parena Prapto Munistadatha Divya Drisha Vijanan Kshipyan Krudodhrita Jato Vidatana Krityam Atha Parana Muhurta Samapti Khedat. Well, you observe the fasting from the evening of Dashami, complete day of Ekadashi, until you consume the Bhagavat Prasadam on the early morning of Dwadashi Tithi. It is also mandated, like how you have fasted, you will have to break that fast at a particular Muhurtam. So that Muhurta was being reached, and this Muni called Durvasa, Parati Shila, who had gone to the banks of Yamuna, had not returned. Atha Parana Muhurta Samapti Kheda. That Parana Muhurtam was to get done. Paranam Akari Rajna, that fast was to be broken by the king. Then Bhavat Parena, thinking you as the ultimate refuge, hey Krishna of Sri Guruvayur, Ambarisha thought of you as the ultimate refuge. Vara Eva. Thereby, instead of consuming the food, he wanted to consume the Parana food with Durvasa Maharshi. That was the promise made. Instead, what he did, Vara Eva, he just took some waters, Tulasi Jalam, as a culmination to the fasting process. Vara Eva. Munihi Praptaha Atha. The sage who arrived later, while the king was consuming the waters, the sage arrived. Munihi Praptaha Atha Vijanan Tat Divya Drishya. So through his divine vision, he was able to see what had happened, that the king had not waited for him to have completed his fasting and consuming the Parana. Though the king did not have food, he just had Tulasi waters. Durvasa got angry. Kshipyan Kruddha, thereby rebuking the king. He started reprimanding Ambarisha. Vitatana Kritya. He thereby created a demon called Kritya, Uddhrita Jataha, when he threw away a few strands of his hair and performed a Vyabhichara Yagam, he was able to create a kritya. It is similar to black magic or occult. So through this Vyabhichara Yagam, while he created that kritya was ready to execute whatever Durvasa was to say. What did he say? All that in the next episode. Life is a learning. Every day is a learning. So why stop? We are very happy to present Ramayana Pariksha RAP 2025. This is being organized by our trust Deshika Daya. It is an online examination. All that you have to do is to read the book Ramayanam Volume 1 that I have authored, and 2, register for the exam. It is happening on the 22nd of June 2025. Exciting prizes, and the biggest prize is reading the Ramayana and answering the questions. Age no bar, geography no bar. So why stop? Register soon. Namaskar.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण